So, hey, I have the stabby crabbies. Everything is good. Sorry for that. Again, I wanted to make sure that I had enough time that we were able to, whatever is going to happen, that we will be able to finish it off. And I checked on the print, and I'm so glad the 3D printer is working again. Yeah, I think it's because of the shine here for Everyday Heroes. Ooh. Which, by the way, tomorrow night, Saturday night, I'm going to be choosing 4 of you who've expressed an interest in playing, and I will let you know if you will be a part of this 4-person crew that's going to go on a summer action movie blockbuster adventure in 3 parts in July. So I'll be very happy for this. Anyway, now let's get back to a summer adventure. Now, where we had left off, you all were bringing your energy to the table with Iyahar Nog Naglui Ah Bakrug. We were chanting along with our Buddhist monk friend. And Windows. Character. Scanian, we're gonna find out. We were running, there's monsters that have found us in a church. We're holed up in it with the Buddhist monk from the auction, and we're chanting over the idol. Hopefully it'll get rid of whatever is chasing us. Now, let's find out. I need epic music. For this. That has chanting and stuff. I think this will work. All right, here we go, everyone. We were on, I think we were on 227. Here we go. You stare at Banyu as he completes his chant. And it's as if a great weight has fallen from his shoulders. You look at him curiously for a moment before you notice the pounding at the door fades to a stop. Cautiously, you go to the door and crack it open a little so you can take a look outside. As the door swings open, a rush of water swirls into the church, soaking your legs and the floor around you before pooling amid the church pews. Looking out into the streets, it appears that all of Esbury is awash with waist-deep water, though the fog has faded and the water doesn't appear to be rising any further. Banyu comes to join you, and he breathes a sigh of relief. It is done now. We will be safe for the moment. I will take the artifacts with me when I leave this place. We will prevent this from happening again. With that, Banyu gathers up the sack of items by the altar and wades out into the floodwater. You don't know where he's going, but you never see him again. In time, Esbury is evacuated. The bodies of some residents are found, their deaths labeled as drowning. Some residents claim to have seen strange things in the mist, which the papers label as an outbreak of mass hysteria brought on by the anomalous flooding. Some residents are committed to mental institutions, though many return to Esbury when the water recedes. You're still not entirely sure what went on there, but you are fully aware that it wasn't entirely natural. You do your best to forget it, but the memory still lingers in the back of your mind. You never returned to Esbury. You have survived this adventure, and you may have saved, and you may save this character to use at a later time if you wish. Your visit to Esbury is over. The end. The work trip was a wash. Da 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 da. Bloop. You never return to Esbury, but you never truly leave either. Yeah, it's probably a haunting experience. Now, boy, I feel kind of bad that was the the cliffhanger was actually the end. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Are we gonna need to throw hands? Are we gonna have to fight off a lizard? So apparently we were able to complete this, but we still have some time together tonight. And what I would like to do now, if you want, Sierra, I can crack open Pacific Rim. However, before I do that, if you all have questions, now that we have beaten it, we died twice, we've lived once. Is there something you want to research? I will flip through, and is there knowledge you wish to learn? We've beat the game, and we can. Is there a detail that you'd like to know? Something that we can try and find. You've unlocked it. We could do a new game plus, I suppose, if you want to do a new game plus, if you think that there's something better that you could do with it. Did Amelia have a hand in the death of the professor? That I don't know. However, we can. There was an option from last night where we could chase her out into the fog, and maybe we can find that out. But it seems like between what we picked up last session and this one, I want to say yes, because she was sleeping with Joshua, who is the man in the trench coat with the thin mustache, and that it seems like that was happening while he was still alive. And I seriously doubt that the professor decided on a whim, with no real reason to otherwise, give himself a lead injection. So I guess to answer questions, because I don't know, I have guesses. Mage wants to know about Amelia. I guess, Mage, do you want to see what happens if we successfully pursue her into the fog? Because we might find an answer that way. All right. I don't know where that was at, but Alright, no immediate threat to yourself. You're free to explore the Harris household. Alright, so that took us to the locksmith. The locksmith took us here. Investigate Joshua's house or return. Wait, you get ready to leave the Harris household as you feel your business is concluded. You pause at the door for a moment to consider what your next step should be. So that one wasn't it. All right, Kragar. Something in the 20s. Oh, you mean in the time period. Let's see. We were chasing after Amelia. Where was this? Just glancing, there's a lot of stuff that we missed in this adventure. We missed a lot with the route that we took through it. Alright, police station. We fail, which took us to 101. We went to the Harris house, which was 90. Didn't call to Joshua. Didn't go to the hotel. We went to the Harris house. I think we did get the psychology roll 126. Then there's the police. We did stealth. We explored the upstairs. Enter the bedroom, make a locksmith roll. So we did that. Turn around, door closed behind you. We did make a dodge roll. Throw yourself, make a fighting brawl, which we did. Ah, there we go. Yeah, so it was 21. To chase Amelia, go to 136. Because, yeah, this was the route where y'all were thirsty for Amelia, I guess. And so you chase the lady in red in a Call of Cthulhu game out into a quiet New England town covered in an impossible fog that also glows green. Man, this thirst will get y'all killed, as we saw. Go to 131. Oh, you know what? I guess just chasing after her doesn't reveal what happens, because then it's just a sense of terror washes over you. So at least on this route, we lose Amelia and there's no follow-up. I can see what happens. Well, let's see. We made the roll. But I guess we could see what happens if we do fail. That's 162. Oh my. Dang, y'all's thirst not only got you killed in one alternative future, now we're starting to get into sanity loss. So I can't tell you about proof, Mage, with what I know from the choices we've already made. After that, we had did the cop get redeeming usage? That's a good question. Let's see. His name was... Officer Powell. Let's see, no more help. Disposition. Oh, apparently we could have done something here with Officer Powell, who isn't watching us do some thievery stuff. All right, apparently we get arrested. That might be if we go quietly. Let's see, that was 65. Officers armed and angry, so you decide it's probably best to not to resist. You're escorted out of the house at gunpoint and into the sickly green fog. Amelia neither says nor does anything as you pass. She simply stares at you as you go. On the street just outside the Harris property, you spot Joshua grinning madly. His eyes meet yours and the smile gets a bit wider. He put Officer Powell up to this. He's not even trying to hide it. That still doesn't explain why, but at least you know for certainty that Joshua is not friendly to you and that he has Powell in his pocket. You mull over this as you're marched through the misty streets and taken to the police station. You're ushered into the dim and dingy room and shoved into a closet-sized cell on the far wall. Officer Powell turns the key in the lock, sealing you in the cell. He settles into his seat and pays you no further mind as he begins puffing a cigar. Pardon. He seems to have no intention of letting you go anytime soon. So I guess you could wait the night in the cell. All right, so Belladonna, I guess springboarding off of the use of Powell, because if you remember, we smelled cigar smoke in the basement of Joshua's house, which is I guess a clue on the alternate path that Powell and Joshua were in cahoots in some way. Now, as for any redeeming qualities, I mean, I don't know, maybe the officer doesn't want to die to monsters. What happens if we wait in the cell? Well, staying the night in the cell is not good. So if we try to attempt an escape. All right, so that's trying to break out. Through a quick search, I am not finding anything necessarily redeemable, except, I mean, he might just be a neutral belligerent when the monsters start fighting, but we ended up dying in that other universe, where he doesn't come back. Because, let's see, he's gone for quite some time and the shouting continues. Then the water rises. So Powell doesn't even come back. He might very well get eaten up by monsters. Have a good night, Mage. Let's see, any other questions? That was Amelia. I can try and look if there's anything else for Amelia that we might have missed. Apparently we can tie up Amelia. So if any of you are into that, we can go to 125. Too much of a liability to leave alone at present. You resolve to restrain her. Then comes in. All right. Flirty demeanor. Police open up. You ask Amelia about Joshua's relationship and why he would have you arrested. The day after William died, I found Josh in the study. I never went in there until after William was dead. Alright, well, so, Mage, if I didn't miss you, it looks like Amelia was an unwitting, not accomplice, but her lover is the one responsible, and she's just a ditzy dame. You know, she liked living a life of luxury. She didn't question it, and so, yeah, I think she was caught up in things between the two different men who are having these visions of a far-off place. But there is a lot here. Like, I don't remember seeing this picture, so I have no idea what the entry... I don't want to spoil everything. But I look, I look at this stuff, and there is so much more in this adventure. You could replay this. You could replay the, like, I don't remember this picture, let alone what the entry numbers are. I'd remember the picture before the entry numbers anyway. But there's still so much more that you could do with this story. Awkward Mancer says, she's just a ditzy dame who selflessly and wholeheartedly loves money. Interesting. Well, and there you go. So our two professors from Miskatonic died. However, our private investigator had the moxie, had the chutzpah, had what it took in order to survive alone against the tide. And I'm going to presume that was one of several endings that were still alive at the end. I don't think that was the only one. Of course, there are many bad endings. There are many bad endings. But we did survive, and I wonder if that's... maybe we got the good ending? You know, yeah, we'll always remember our time here. You know, we never go back, but it never leaves us. The monk recovered the artifacts, and so he can have his vigil over the cursed things. I guess we might have gotten the good ending. Oh, okay. So, you figure that Amelia was actually more of an accomplice. Or if not an accomplice in the murder, was taken advantage of. She didn't bother doing the research and you know, trusting Joshua, or she trusted Joshua too much. Probably, you know, let him into the house or something. We only died twice and our survivor didn't go insane. That's Disney DVD levels of happy ending for Lovecraft. I agree. Like, we might as well have been a Disney princess with, like, a double rainbow across the sky and birds were landing on our shoulder, and... I agree. That was quite... I like that adventure, and the fact that there's still more in here. And by the way, Scanian, I will say this. While you don't start with a gun, and this does tell you, even if you're making a character, it does ask you not to take a weapon. It said it somewhere in the beginning, because for tonight's, we made a character from scratch. We went through and we used the standard arrays that were provided to us for the character. However, it looks like at some point you can acquire a gun and get into gunfights somewhere in the adventure. So not only did we have the good ending, we kind of had the pacifist route. We didn't kill anyone, and we didn't use weapons beyond our fists in an obviously lethal situation. So it was self-defense. So, Scannion, I guess you could try and find the gun and go a-hunting in Esbury with whatever the correct choice or choices are.